Yeah, good morning everyone. I am Dr. Charu Agrawal of from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. Today I am going to discuss the subject Project Management and Entrepreneurship, in which I am covering a topic of Unit 3. This is the subject which actually covers the various aspects and teaches the which actually tell the students about the various prospects that they need to consider when they if they want to become an entrepreneur. We know that who is an entrepreneur is a person who actually consider risk, take the risk, and have some innovative idea which actually he want to convert into a business. Okay, and that idea is basically something which actually delivers or solves some problem of the society, which is taken from the day-to-day life, also from any complex problem also. So if you have some innovative idea, so that idea if you want to materialize into a business, then in that sense you may be considered as an entrepreneur, as a one type of entrepreneur, as we discussed in unit 1 that there are the number of types of the entrepreneur. So basically what they need to do, they need to consider, the entrepreneur need to consider a business as a project. Okay, so when we are telling that a person is an entrepreneur, so he need to consider many things. Okay, so what are those things he need to consider? That the first thing, when he is dealing with the project, whatever be the idea he is having, that we consider as a project. So we need a person in that which is a good project manager. Okay, so we need a project manager to handle the whole project of that. So what's actually a project manager? A good project manager delivers projects within the deadline and budget set by the clients, meetings, or even exceeding the expectations of the stakeholders. Okay, like in my previous lecture, I actually discussed the various things about the project also, the characteristics of the project also. Okay, so now I am discussing the next point of that about the project manager. Okay, so project manager is a person, you can say as who is the total responsible, who is the responsible for all the things for handling the project. Okay, so but they have a big responsibility on them. They actually the responsible to deliver the project within the timeline. If suppose we set the timeline that we need to deliver the project within the 6 months, it means you need to deliver the project within the set timelines. At least you need to try that 99% case that the project will be delivered within the set timelines. And also when we are talking about any project, then the clients are also involved into that. So in that also the budget is also need to be considered. Okay, see, the budget and the timeline both are work in correlation of each other. If suppose the time duration of the project get exceeded, then in that case budget also get increases, because we need to pay the salary, we need to consider the expenses of the infrastructure, the capital investment, the day-to-day operation management expenses. So all these we need to consider. So they have a big responsibility that they should deliver the project within the timeline and within this budget set between them and the client. Okay, along with that, they should not compromise with the quality of the project. Okay, so they need to meet or even exceed the expectations of the stakeholders. So whosoever the stakeholders involved in that project, the project manager need to consider, they need to taken care of that they should meet the expectations that are required from the final project. Okay, so but suppose what does it takes to make a good project manager great? Okay, so if we are considering that that how a good project manager can, you can consider he's a great person or something, then he or she should have some qualities. Okay, so what are those qualities that we look into a project manager that makes them a great and or the successful project manager? So let's have those. So the first quality is the leadership quality. Okay, so what is that leadership quality? We know that a great project manager will set the tone for the project and provide a clear vision about its objectives for the team. Okay, so the project manager should be like that they have a good leadership skill. Good leadership skills means they can give the instructions to their team to the members of their team, and along with that the team members also need to follow the instructions from them. Also they need to take the right decisions also. Okay, so a good leadership is a very important quality of a project manager. Okay, because he is the leader of their team, and he is responsible for all the things, for the success of the project, for the delay of the project, for delivering the project before the timeline, and all the things. The project manager is responsible, and he or she should be a good team leader. Good team leader along with that, so because he need to consider and take care of each and every individual of their team, and they need to find the skills of each and every individual in the team. It should not be like that that he should avoid the overburdening the team members, and they should give the work, allocate the work to their team members according to their skills, according to their power. Okay, so we can say a great project manager will set the tone for the project and provide a clear vision about its objectives for the team. So they have a sense of foresight helps as well. By anticipating potential problems, you can have your team ready to solve them in the blink of the eye. Okay, so they must have a visualization capabilities that they can see that what are the potential problems, what are the problems that they need to face when they develop that particular project. Okay, so and they must have or build a team, that team is ready to solve that problem. Okay, that team can handle that. So they must have such a kind of the persons in their team, and believe on their team members that they can solve that particular, they can solve the problems, and if any risk is arise in between of them, then they all will be able to handle them. Okay, so they must, the leader, the project manager should be able to develop a clear understanding, a clear thought between their team and between him. Okay, so the main point is the enthusiasm and passion. They are the crucial to ensure that people follow you. So the project manager should be enthusiastic, and he should have or she should have the passion about their work. Okay, because of that actually the team members will follow them. Okay, so nobody in their team will do so if you are supporting a negative attitude. Okay, so main point along with these points of the leadership, the main point is that the project manager should have a positive attitude about their project. If suppose for example the project manager is saying that you are not doing the work and we will not be able to deliver the project on time or something which is actually in the negative direction, so it will be difficult, or that actually, or you can say set a negative tone in the whole team and in the atmosphere. So the first characteristic is very important, the leadership. What is that? That the project manager set the tone for the project. They must have the visualization capabilities. They must have a sense of the foresight that can see that what are the potential problems they can have in the development of their project, and they should be able to solve those problems. Okay, along with that they should be enthusiastic and passionate about their work, and they must have the positive attitude, and they must need to carry actually the positive attitude in their team, in the atmosphere, in their company. Now what is the second point? Task delegation. As I discussed now, task delegation is also a very important point when if you want to become a project manager, a leader in that case. So being a leader doesn't mean that you need to think about every tiny little detail of a project. Okay, show your team members you trust them and delegate tasks to them. See, what this mean that it's not possible for a single person, for the project manager, that they do all their work by their own. What actually important is that they should delegate the task. They should divide the task depending on the skills of each and every team member in their team. They need to first find out the skills of their team member, how each and every team member can handle the situation, can handle the problems, how much they are how they take the initiatives and all. So they need to find the skills, the power, the talent of each and every team member, and according to that, they need to delegate the task to their team members. Okay, of course, you should be able to judge your team members' skills and assign the task in accordance with their strength. Okay, so this is one of the important point of the characteristic, we can say, of the project manager, the task delegation, that they need to delegate the task to their team members because they can't do each and every task by their own. So they need to deliver the task, they need to delegate the task to their team members based on their skills and their strength. Only in that case they will be able to deliver the project on time and within the budget set. Now, the third important characteristic of a project manager is the communication. See, communication is very important. In our society, each and every human, they need to communicate. It's our essentiality that we need to communicate with each other. There are the number of the forms exist in which we are communicating with each other, whether we are communicating in the verbal way, whether we are communicating in the written way, and with our gestures and all. But the communication is very important. So the communication is basically very important. They actually, they can deliver the right thing to the right person in the right way. Okay, so the communication plays a very important role in that. Good communication is not only about transmitting your vision to your team. Okay, it is also about maximizing the efficiency of meetings to make decisions and solve problems. Okay, so the main thing is that you should be able to identify the problems. All need to sit together in a meeting. They all give the time. They have that their assigned slots in which they can speak out, they can find out, they can discuss their problems, and for all that the communication is very important. Okay, so people get easily bored during long unorganized gatherings actually. So the same goes for the written communication also. Emails and reports are a means of communication you use daily, so you need to be able to make most of them. So what I told you, that for the communication we can have the verbal communication also, and we can have the written communication also. And in case of the business, in any company, both the communications are equally important. Okay, we are communicating actually with each other in day-to-day life also. We need to communicate in some meetings also. So basically the thing is that the manager and their team members must have a clear understanding between them. They have the good communication skills so that they communicate to the other member of the team the right thing, the right idea, the right actually what is going in their mind to their team members without any hesitation. Okay, so these are the main points, and they should be able to solve their problems also. Okay, so actually we see that many people get bored also if we are having a long meetings. So for that, to have a good communication, just have the meetings, point to point discussion on each and every topic is needed in the meeting. Okay, and apart from that, about the written communication, emails and reports are the means of the written communication in which through the people actually communicate with each other. They are passing their data or things to the other people also. Okay, now the next point is empathy. Now, as a team leader, you will need to be empathetic rather than sympathetic. Okay, sometimes the work of your team members might be affected by the difficulties they experience in their private lives. Okay, so it's important that your team stays focused on the project and that each member remain productive even when having personal troubles. Okay, so as a team members, you must be empathetic. Okay. They see we are all the humans, and the team members or of our team, they are also humans. So what we say that everyone have their personal life as well as their professional life. So many members of their team, they can have their own personal problems. Okay, that might affect their mindset, they might affect their behavior also. So what we need to do? We need to consider all the things in a clear way. Okay, so we need to motivate our team members. As a project manager, we need to motivate our team members that they should take these two things separately and they should focus on the project even they are having some kind of problems in their daily life, that might be not affect their professional life or the work they are assigned to do. So this is very important for a project manager to ensure this. Now, the next characteristic is organization. Good organization is a key factor for creating a productive work environment as well as solving problems under pressure. Being well organized helps to stay focused on the big picture and to prioritize your own tasks and responsibilities. Okay, so the project manager should be an organized person. They must plan their activities in a planned manner without pressure, without taking pressure, and focusing on the main points of their project. Okay, so they need to, this is the basically the key factor which actually create a productive work environment. Okay, so if the project manager is an organized person, they can focus on their project and they are able to prioritize that what are the tasks and the responsibilities which are actually more important than the other things. Okay, so accordingly they can plan out that which of the things are more important, then they consider or finish those things in priority of that, and the lower priority tasks they can taken later on. Now, the sixth one is the competence. Being on top of your projects entails a vast amount of industry knowledge to be effective in what you do. Okay, so some knowledge on the financial and legal side of your project will not hurt either. So you need to be perceived as capable and competent by your team. Mind you, it's not about the technical expertise. You are there to lead, which means encouraging, challenging, inspiring the members of your team. So see, the competence is very, very important. If you are not a competent people, then if you are not having those skills which are required by a project manager, it will be very difficult for you to survive. Okay, so because as a project manager, you need to be competent on some of the points also. You need to have a competency about what are the financial liabilities of the project, what are the legal side of the project. So you need to consider all those and you need to have the knowledge of this. It's not like that if you are not having the knowledge of all these things, you become a good project manager. A good project manager definitely have a good leadership skills because they need to motivate their team members, they need to encourage their team members, they need to take the challenging task and finish those tasks within the time. They should need to be inspiring one also. But along with that, they need to have some technical expertise, they need to have the financial expertise, they need to see the project from the legal side also. So they need to consider all these signs. Otherwise, it will be difficult for a project manager to survive because they need to have the knowledge of all these things. Now, the next characteristics which is needed by a project manager is integrity. Integrity means the loyalty and the honesty of the project manager about the project, about this is about the commitment of the project manager about the project, about their work. Okay, so this means, this word means that loyalty and honesty. You should be able to gain the trust of your team. As a project manager, it is your first responsibility that your team members trust on you. Because if they trust on you, then only they will follow on that what you are saying, because they consider that what you are saying is the correct way of doing the things. Okay, so you should be able to gain the trust of your team. At the same time, setting the ethical tone on the projects and showing that you yourself follow the rules you set for others. Okay, so this line is very important actually. You should be able to gain the trust of your team members. Along with that, setting the ethical tone on the projects. Okay, all the things should be go in the ethical way, and showing that you yourself follow the rules you set for the others. It's not like that you set the rules for the others, but you are not following them. It should not be like that. If you set the goals for the others, then you need to follow those rules for yourself also, whatever be the rules you set for yourself also. Okay, so as a project manager, your loyalty, your honesty is also very important, along with the loyalty and honesty of your team members. Okay, projects must be profitable, sure, but that doesn't mean you will need to ban your morality to do so. Okay, so if you are a project manager material, you will be able to come up with various solutions that will serve your ends. Okay, so what does this mean? That it is like that whatever be the idea we are having, we need to convert that idea into a business, and ultimately the business goes along with the social some kind of the profit also. But to make the profit, it's not like that you just slow down, you just lose your morality. Okay, you need to be honest and you need to be loyal with your society also, with your members also and all. Okay, so if you are a project manager kind of the person, you want to be a project manager kind of the person, then you must have a number of solutions in your mind that can solve that particular problem. Okay, so you need to be focused also along with your team members. You need to be focused. Now the next is the problem solving. As we discuss in all these characteristics, that the project manager need to have the number of the ideas in their mind, so that they can solve that problem whatever be arise during the development of the project. So you are the team, you are the leader of the team, but that doesn't mean you will solve all the problems yourself. Okay, so great project managers work with a team of experts or consultants and use their expertise to tackle problems in most efficient ways. So what does this mean? That see, any person in this world, they don't have all the skills within them. Okay, so if suppose I am expertise in technical, then I may not have the financial knowledge, I may not have the legal knowledge, I may not be a good recruiter also. So we need to hire the persons from we need to hire those persons which are actually having such kind of the skills. Okay, so that makes a team that actually take that project to and convert that into a successful project also. So it's not like that as a team leader you can solve all the problems by yourself. To solve all the problems, you need to have a set of the people within your team who are the experts, consultants, and from them you can take their expertise, you can take their knowledge, advantage of their experience, their knowledge to tackle the problems in an efficient ways. Okay. Next characteristic of project manager is collaboration. This is a crucial one. Every great project manager knows how important their team is for them, because without team they can't exist. So a grasp of team dynamics is essential if you want your team to work smoothly on your projects. When developing your team, keep in mind that conflicts and disagreements are bound to happen, because all are the human being and they have the conflicts and disagreements between them. So as a leader, it's your responsibilities that you will need to be able to mediate them and make sure all your team members work toward the same goal. Okay, they work toward the achieving the project's objectives. They need to actually achieve the project objectives. So you need to be work as a collaborator also. Then next is the team development. This one is the last characteristics that we can see. There's a number of the characteristics we can have, but this one is team development. Delivering projects within the time and budget limit can be quite stressful. It is a job not to crumble under the pressure and make sure none of your team members do so. So good leaders know that problems make up the fabric of life and are to be expected. They will treat problems as events that could possibly influence the project in a way by providing a different perspective on its future. Okay. So as a project manager, you need to have a good team with a number of the consultants, with the number of the experts, with the number of the technical expertise, and you need to make sure that apart from their personal problems and other work pressure, they all need to work toward the objectives of the project. Okay, so these are all the characteristics of the project manager. They need to have the characteristic of team. They should have a team development. They need to work as a collaborator. They actually have the attitude of problem solving. They need to be loyal and honest. They need to have the competencies or knowledge about the various things. They should be organized persons. They have the empathy attitude. They have the good communication skills between them and their team members. They need to know how to delegate the task in the team members based on their skills and strength. And the topmost characteristic is that they should need to be a good leadership, good leader also. Okay, so that's about the today's class. Thank you so much.